I was wide awake at 4 a.m. on my partner's phone, bored, not expecting to see anything incriminating. Can we just agree that if you're on your partner's phone, to say I'm not expecting to see anything incriminating, you should
Why
be
else would
expecting...
you be on there? Hello and welcome back to the Friday episode of the U Up Podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. It is so good to be back here with you, Jordana. We love a Friday feels. How you feeling?
How am I feeling?
How you feeling on a Friday? Or on a, we're taping
whatever
this now, whatever day
this is.
Yeah.
This is taping on a Thursday. We're taping on a Thursday, which is different than our usual taping day.
Yes, and actually, to me, it's like Friday now. Like, because I've done everything I needed to do today. This is our last episode.
Are you going on the road?
I'm going to Phoenix tomorrow. So that'll already be done.
Nice.
Thank you to the Phoenix. I'm so excited. I'm gonna golf. I'm gonna be.
It's gonna be. It has been
Candace's hometown. This is.
Oh yeah. Did
so
she tell you where to go?
She's told all her friends and family to come out to the show. I'm sure she has spread the word. And if you're listening, Montreal, New Zealand, Australia, if you're in any of those places, know anyone in those places, I'm going to be doing shows. JaredFree.com for tickets. I'm going to golf. I'm very excited for the weekend.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
January is a great time to get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling like, winter's kind of like crept up on me. I do feel like I'm kind of envious that you get all these built-in reasons to leave New York. It is kind of like a depressing month here, January, when
tough.
all the decorations come down.
Decorations are down. It's cold. You're running from place to place. Like, you can't even just be outside.
I was actually thinking about that this morning because I was so cold, like walking around the city, like getting to this office. And I was just like, who would go on a date in this weather? No, I was just like, I can imagine like being single.
Yeah.
And being like, there's a date with a guy from an app that I'm supposed to go on tonight that I feel like lukewarm about. And then just being like, I have to go on this fucking date tonight and it's like 30 degrees and I'm freezing and I put on 4 layers. Like, and imagine if this date doesn't go well. Like, that fucking sucks.
Right. And you also want to be on a date with someone who feels that way too. You know, like,
he doesn't want to be there also.
Right. Like, you would only want to associate with someone who lives in the reality you live in.
Right. That we both don't want to be here.
Right. Which is crazy. Like, that's like a chicken or an egg thing. It's a double-edged sword. Like, I don't want to go on this date, but I want to be on it with someone who also doesn't want to go on this date.
Right. And it's just a totally different ballgame, I think, than going on a summer date where you're like,
right.
It's great outside. I'm excited to have a drink. I don't even care who's next to me having this drink. But like in the winter, it's like,
right.
I don't want to be.
Here's the other
here.
thing. Here's the other thing with the dating in the winter. It's very rarely on the way to something else. When you date in the summer, you date in the spring. Hey, let's get drinks. I have dinner with my friends afterwards.
Right. So much going on.
This is like what you're going out for, and it feels a little ridiculous, especially with the success rate of first dates. You're like, there's no chance this is going to be the love of my life. It's almost too planned to be romantic. We've planned this date from a dating app. I think
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, like that wouldn't get you excited. I mean, maybe it would be like a good date, but it just feels like that wouldn't get you excited.
No, I listen. You're speaking to my soul. It's kind of how I feel currently. Like, it is. It's funny you said like who would go out right now. I went on stage last night at the Cellar, and I'm like, there must be something wrong with everyone in this room. Like, that's how I opened my set, because I'm like, it is the first Wednesday of the year,
right? And
you guys are like
miserable
out, right. Like, you left the house. I was like, you're either like wayward travelers or you're fucked up crazy people,
or they're like on the third date with someone that they like. Really like that would be the dream,
right? Well, you want to be in third date right now, or you got nothing,
right?
You're
date one
fucked.
right now, not exciting,
horrific.
Yeah.
But no, I have to say they were cool. Like, the audiences were really good because they were like, they're like, yeah,
they don't need to be here. They're there because they want to,
right?
I remember like when going out, I feel like if you went out on like a Tuesday or like a Wednesday, like you were like, there was almost like better people out than a Friday night or like. New Year's, when everyone feels like they need to go out.
You're totally right. I think that should be like a motto of this podcast. Like, I'd rather be out on a Tuesday night than a Saturday night.
Yeah.
No question. Like, I think that's the night to be
Quality
in a bar.
of people are better.
Yeah. People who want to be out, people who are like, just like real people with just they're
Interesting
not
lives.
like traveling into city. I guess it's less like desperate. Something about being out on a Saturday night seems like desperate.
Or like
something needs to happen.
Right,
It's
something like people who are going out because they feel like they like need to be out.
Right.
Are going out on a Saturday.
You were forced because it's the weekend.
Yes.
Tuesday, it's like, you know what? I'm going to go out for a drink. I'm going to have a nice dinner. I'm going to get the cocktail I like. Yeah, there's something nice to that.
All that being said, I don't really go out during the week anymore.
That's fair. I will say this. I have something to also bring up before we get, as a Friday feels. I have had so many people on the road and otherwise. Also, let me thank people who have come to my shows. I get compliments from all the clubs. It is like actually unbelievable about the audience,
the quality of the audience,
the quality of people that come to my shows, and that's a reflection on us. That's a reflection on this show. So I want to thank anyone who's ever been to my show, who's come especially the last couple months. Just like, it's weird to get compliments about people who come to my
totally.
And they're like, they're fun, they're cool, they're order
smart.
nice drinks, they're smart. They don't care about they're not there for certain material. They're not yelling out. Like, they're not like they're fun. I put up some videos of like some crowd work stuff of like things that happen during the show. I generally have fun with that stuff. It's generally not the worst in the world, but it's just nice that like good people listen to this show.
Yeah, the best.
So, the reason I brought it up, should we be making merch? Is that my wife?
You think? Is that my wife?
I have gotten so many
think?
people that have come up to me and been like, is that my wife?
I would wear an Is That My Wife shirt. I mean,
I would wear Is That My Wife hat. I'd wear an Is That My Wife shirt.
Crew. Little crew. Maybe.
It could just be wife ? Like, that's fun.
Yeah.
I think that's fun.
Is That My Wife hat is fun.
I would
yeah.
Wife with a ? Hat. It starts a conversation.
Is that my wife on the back?
Is that my wife? Is that my wife on a hat? I need it.
We might be
Pookie
4
and
months
Jet
late.
have merch that dropped and was sold out because I tried to buy one of them for you.
Oh, why? So I could burn
buy
it?
you a Pookie hat.
It says Pookie?
Yeah, it says
Oh my
Pookie,
God.
and it's like in USA font.
Ugh.
It's like very like MAGA core.
Americana,
It's
yeah.
very.
Ugh.
It has a look. They're going for.
They
a
got it
certain
paid
look.
for Paloma's college. I get it.
All right, let's do the emails. You ready?
All right, let's
We're
do
playing Petty or Prudent. That
we got
is
our gavels.
game.
That's why I've been holding them.
If you're watching on YouTube, you can see the gavels.
Subscribe to the show so that we can afford better gavels that make a better sound.
We're trying to up the YouTube game. Petty or Prudent, basically, someone writes in, a breakup has happened. Did they act petty or prudent?
And also, we're also combining this one with a couples court where we say which person in the couple is correct.
Is correct. Okay. So this is
argument.
a combo game. Want me to read it?
Yep.
JJ and C. A little shout out to Candace. Longtime listener and subscriber here. I love you both. Thank you. I am fresh out of a breakup that happened yesterday after I found out my ex of a year cheated on me. Hey. Well, I'm sorry that happened. I'm a doctor. A doctor.
You cheated on a doctor?
You piece of fucking shit. And I had just finished a week of night shift. Oh,
on a night shift?
This is fresh off a breakup. She's given the whole litany
all
of like
the evidence.
how this guy fucked her
piece
over.
Of shit. Let's
Which
go.
you're entitled to. I'm just saying it is funny. I'm a doctor and had just finished a week of night shift, so I was switching my sleep schedule back from nights to days. I was wide awake at 4 a.m. on my partner's phone, bored and not expecting to see anything incriminating.
Wait,
Just
I'm confused.
hanging on her partner's phone?
I was wide awake.
What are you checking out his TikTok
feed? The way
feed?
that she wrote that is weird. I was like as if that's what you do.
Is that what you do? I'm
No.
not. It's been a while since I've been.
I was
in a relationship.
wide awake at 4 a.m. on my partner's phone, bored, not expecting to see it. Sounds like that's what she does, like Instagram, TikTok, partner's phone.
Right, very matter of fact.
It was like as you do.
As one does. Right. I was just flipping through my partner's phone.
I hope she's not a psychiatrist.
I mean, I was wide awake at 4 a.m. on my partner's phone, bored, not expecting to see anything incriminating. Can we just agree that if you're on your partner's phone, to say I'm not expecting to see anything incriminating, you should
Why
be
else would
expecting...
you be on there?
In a classic turn of events, I saw a convo with a girl's name he had never mentioned, and most of the messages had been deleted the day before. Why would he do that?
It's not like he has a girlfriend who checks his phone every night.
Right. Went to his Instagram DMs with her and saw them DMing about planning a date, which they ended up going on a few days before. Long story short, I had to pry it out of him that they had been flirting for weeks, got dinner, then drinks, then went back to his place and hooked up. The full cheat. Needless to say, we broke up. Before I left, I texted his family group chat off of his phone saying my name and I broke up. I cheated on her.
Is this like, do they like co-use the same phone?
It is the access she has to his phone.
It's crazy.
Is wild.
Right?
She could pry it from my cold, dead fucking hands.
I mean, yeah, a
I'd
phone.
be like,
Here's
I cheated, I'm out. The phone would be thrown out the window before I left.
A phone is
get out of here, escape.
A phone is like a diary.
Yeah.
In more intimate in some ways than that.
That's why when
weird to have such unfettered access to every single thing on it.
Right. That's why when we read text, it is funny just to read out loud people's text because
it's so intimate.
Right. And you don't talk the way you text. Like, so it's like this, like, it is naked.
Right.
To like you're being vulnerable with people you never meant to be vulnerable with. But again,
she clearly has very open access to this phone. So whether it's been given or I'm surprised this guy this is almost like, did he want her to break up with him? Like, this is crazy to me.
Right. He had to have known that she uses his phone in this way. Like, if I was on a double date and it was me and my girlfriend and another couple, and the other couple just like were using each other's phones as if they were owners of both.
No. You have to go in for a reason and then get off when you finish the reason.
Right.
Like, I'll go in if I'm like, I need to set the car GPS or put on a song.
Right, but if the couple I was with acted as the way I envisioned them acting, I would go home and talk about that couple. Be like, did you see how they do the phone shit?
Totally.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It does give me some comfort to know that he's not being... So she sent a text, so she basically...
I'm just wondering how this worked. They get into this huge fight. She's like, we're broken up. And then she's like, give me your phone. And then he just hands it to her.
Right. The timeline makes no sense at all.
I'd love to see how this actually all happened.
I guess in a world he feels so guilty that he's like, I have no way that I have no control here. Like, I'll do anything so that you won't hate me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a little bit of a, like, dude, get a fucking spine. Like, you did it. You cheated. Get out. I don't know. It's a little bit
It sounds
annoying.
like he's a little scared of her.
Right. That's exactly what it sounds like. So she takes his phone. Blank and I broke up. I cheated on her. It does give me some comfort to know that he's not going to be able to brush off the breakup to his family and friends and will have to own up to what he did. What do you think, though? Was this petty or prudent? A little bit of both? Thank you for getting me through my week each week. Would love some words of encouragement to help me through this breakup. If you have any, best a cheated on betch heartbreak emoji.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry that she got cheated on. That sucks. Especially after working the night shift. I'm sure she wasn't in the best mood when she saw the texts already. That being said, I've never seen anyone talk about going through someone's phone with absolutely no shame or justification for it.
Especially a year in.
But she wasn't even like, I felt suspicious. So it was just like, I think that's something, I think it's very strange that she doesn't think that's strange.
Right. We don't
doesn't
know.
excuse anything.
No.
But
we don't know something. Like, this cheating, I'm not blaming the victim. I'm sorry this happened to her. There's no reason to cheat.
Right. He's wrong, obviously.
He's wrong.
Yeah.
He's wrong. You just wonder, like, how did we get to this place where the phones are done this way?
Right.
And is there a lack of trust that exists already that the cheating is, like, not as much as a surprise as it seems here? But
right.
I don't know. I don't want to. I'm not.
I don't want to say. Yeah, I agree. I don't want to sound like we're justifying anything or saying
there's no justification.
Yeah. Both things can be true. Horrific to get cheated on, and this is a weirdly written email from not at all owning any weirdness in the relationship or her going through his phone casually.
Right. I guess
and then taking the phone again and texting his family.
And how easy it is to do that. Now, saying that to the family, what do you think?
That's petty? I think it's petty to pretend to be someone that you are not. It's when I think, honestly, if she texted the family and said, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know we broke up. What's his face cheated on me. I, you know, I nothing against you guys. Wish you guys the best. Just wanted to let you know, like on my side, like we broke up. I think that would still be a little bit petty.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a much different level of petty. This is her pretending to be him.
It wouldn't be petty if there was a family group chat that included her, and she went to that chat.
Yes.
And said, "Hey, just want to let everyone know I'll be leaving this chat because so and so cheated on me.
Yeah.
And we are broken up." I think that's actually prudent.
Be like a little public, like she could do a side text without him. Maybe
It's a
to
messy.
say that.
It's a messy.
Right. Not, but I would say still.
But you've been included.
Much better. Yes.
You have been included in the family. When you're on the family group chat, you have been included.
You need to say something to leave.
Right.
Sure.
So that's your exit. Calmly exit.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, everybody, just want to let you know.
Yes.
Brian was fucking some bitch, and I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Let me take that back. Brian was with a woman that he lied to. He screwed over 2 women, and now I am leaving. Good luck with that, Mom. Ta-ta.
Yes.
Yeah, I.
But to take someone's phone and text as if you are them, I think just makes you look crazy. Here's the thing. Everything she's described in this email makes her, and again, not a justification, but everything that she said in this email makes her sound like she is a little bit unstable.
If it stops at this, I actually think
I just don't believe that because this kind of relationship doesn't exist in isolation.
Right. She asked for encouragement after the breakup. I am encouraging you to let that be the end. That is you saying goodbye. Like, I think you got to, if that wasn't enough for you, then it didn't really do the job. Like, she's like, I'm happy the family knows. And to me, I don't think the family's going to the family always takes the side. Everyone rationalizes their son's behavior. So they're going to say, well, it wasn't meant to be. You guys were young. He made a mistake. All these things. I'm sorry to say that to you, but I just don't think this is going to do what you think it's done. But I will say, if this is what you needed to release yourself from it, I hope that's just that.
Helped, right.
And now you can move on, and you should. It wasn't the relationship that was meant for you. You're going to be okay.
Right.
Who's right and who's wrong?
I mean,
how do we fashion this for a
petty? Well, I would say it's petty. It's petty
Okay.
it's petty to assume someone else's identity.
Yeah, it's petty light for me. It's only petty if she's now still wanting to be angry. I don't know, but
you think it's prudent if she's
if it did everything.
What if someone did that?
If she's like, I'm cool, fuck him, I'm over it. But it's probably not the case.
I mean, you didn't cheat on someone, but let's say
I did not cheat.
No, but let's say they took your phone
Yeah.
and they texted your family.
Jared cheated on me.
Jared broke up with me. He wouldn't marry me, and he is rude, and we broke up.
I would say.
Oh no, you'd have to say I from the you didn't.
I because it was from.
Yes, I.
To me, I would if I was in.
You'd be like because you're like the family would be like
okay,
that's
cool,
great.
No, but here's the thing.
I would be scared to see their response actually if I texted that.
This is right. They're like, who? Here's the thing. This is why I called him spineless. To me, it's him checking a box off a list. Oh, good, you got what you wanted. Now I'm out. I'm not a cheater anymore. My parents know.
Right.
To me, it's almost like this helps him.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. To me, it further justifies his. I don't know if it's his decision to not be in the relationship, but in his mind, he's probably like, "Oh, she's crazy. I had to do this."
I'm not even thinking from that perspective. I wouldn't think she's crazy as much as okay, so she got back at me. We're even.
Now we're even.
Yeah, I don't have this guilt. She almost freed him. Not knowing what would make you happy is almost worse than knowing that this text made you feel better.
Interesting.
I'm trying to think from his perspective, because for him to just take the phone, you can text my parents, okay, we're even, we're cool.
All right.
I don't know, I think he should giving him some sort of got you back is almost good for it's almost too much of a it's too much a prize. I can see
that you're saying.
I think you've given him something that you never meant. So it's not prudent, but it's not petty. I think it's just
you don't think
it's petty.
Okay.
I think that's what makes it petty is that You didn't get what you wanted from this.
Right. I don't know if I want to sentence her to anything, but I will say that if you are listening to this and you go through your significant other's phone regularly for seemingly no reason at all on a regular basis, you need to seek help in some way.
A court adjourned.
Yes.
So let's do an email. You ready?
All right, let's do it. All right. Hi, J&J, longtime listener, first-time emailer. Love the show and all that you do. Thanks for getting me through some tough dating times.
Gotcha, boo.
I thought about writing in as I went through a difficult breakup about 9 months ago, but never did. And now I see myself maybe starting a pattern, so I wanted to write in for some advice. Over the holidays, I hit it off with a very cute guy from my hometown in Colorado. Insert Hallmark movie joke here. I live in New York City, but we've kept texting after the holidays, and I'm starting to really like this guy. I could see myself moving back to my hometown eventually and visit a lot to see my family, so it doesn't seem like an impossible scenario to see where this goes.
That is the optimism of a woman.
Of course. I would think the same thing.
I'm not saying it's crazy.
We could make it work.
No, right. It's all here.
I'm
Look
from
at
here.
this. But we're friends
I'm
and we
here all
like
the
having
time.
sex. Why wouldn't we just be in a relationship? It's
Yes.
a similar
Well,
thing.
Can I ask, since I have someone right here in front of me, we're friends and we like hooking. If we're friends and we like hooking up and we have a good conversation, why wouldn't we be? Why wouldn't you want to date me?
Good question you ask.
That's like the crux of the show. Like I think me and the other women
Right.
wondering why that's not enough.
I wish I could tell you. I but that's the crux of a lot of people that are out there, right? Like they're like,
Yeah.
I'm in this thing. We have it all. We just can't do. I think it's like it's a putting your foot in your heels in the ground and avoiding the next step of life. And the next step of life comes with really, more tragedy. Also more love and good things. But like, if you think of the highs and lows of dating.
But men always think like, oh, of course I want to do that.
I do.
With someone.
With
just
someone.
not with you. Anyway, now for the part that might be a bad pattern. In the beginning of 2023, I, 30 female, was living in Seattle and met a guy on a ski trip. He, 29 male, lived in San Francisco, but we hit it off, and after the trip, pretty much immediately started dating long distance. Long story short, we were together while living in different cities for about a year and a half, flying to see each other a few times a month. The guy was the first time I felt like I truly found someone I wanted to be with long term. We were both very committed to our careers, and he couldn't move from San Francisco due to his company, but I was willing to move to San Francisco eventually, and we talked openly about our future together. However, I wanted to be thoughtful about making the move to a new city, which would have had to mean a new job and a pretty big career pivot. Unfortunately, eventually the distance became too much, and we ended up breaking up last spring. Fast forward to now, I'm living and dating in New York City, but I haven't felt like I really connected with anyone I've met here. When I moved here earlier this year, I wanted to date to find a long-term partner, but I love the mountains in my career, so I wanted to find someone willing to move to live near the mountains someday, but who understands and supports my career ambitions and vice versa. Now that I have this Hallmark movie crush on the hometown guy, I'm starting to question myself. Do I fall for the long-distance guy in another city for the wrong reasons? Maybe I like feeling special having a guy willing to fly out to spend a weekend with me rather than just fit me in for weeknight drinks. Or does the distance help shield me from being truly vulnerable so I feel more comfortable opening up? Thanks. Does Hallmark call me or do I call them?
I like the email. What do you think?
It seems like I'm not even really certain what her question is. Is her question like, should I not be dating someone long distance? Or why am I getting myself into this pattern?
Yeah, it seems
that
like
the
she's
question?
done this before. Yeah. Now she's like visiting home. She meets this guy.
Right.
And she's like, here I am again.
Right.
And she brings up like, I'm here dating guys to see if I should like that want to move to the mountains in the future. And it's like, if I was on a date in New York City and someone was like, would you want to move to the mountains in the future? I'd be like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, I don't know what.
You would say you would be turned off by that.
Not turned off. I'd just be like, sure. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what I would. Again, like, it's like so far in the future. It's so like cartoonish. Like, it doesn't even feel real. Like, do we get along? Do we like banter fun? Do we like tell jokes? Do we like to eat? Like, do we like to do our things here? yeah, maybe we'll move to the mountains, I guess.
If I like you enough, we'll see.
To me, when I read this email, how about she moves to the mountains? How about she takes control? It feels like she's like, it's like when you hear someone like, I'm not waiting to go on. I've said this on the last episode. I'm not waiting for my honeymoon to go to Milan or go to Europe. And it's like, well, how about you just go? Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. No, I'm just saying. I'm saying
no,
this in the kindest way
yeah.
possible. She's like, she just said she wants to live in the mountains and be
she clearly
close to family.
better with people who live in the mountains.
Right. But she's also like waiting for this guy to like give her permission to do that a little bit. Am I reading this wrong?
Maybe is that the part that's the turn off to you?
Well, that's I think that's the part where it's like, if you're here to meet a guy to bring back to the mountains, and then you go to the mountains, you meet the guy, let's pursue it. How about you move home? Do your work from there.
So you think she should move for this guy?
No, move for you. I think move for you is like, it feels like she's, again, she was going to move to Seattle to be like, look at all the things she was willing to change for that guy in Seattle.
Why? Also, I want to know, like, why didn't that happen? She's very
because it became too much for him. He looked at that and he goes, if I have her move here and it doesn't work out, I am the most evil fucking villain ever. She changed her job. She changed her city.
That person in the
it's
video.
Exactly the person in the video. It is the guy in Texas.
Yeah.
Moved to Texas. And he's like, I don't want to be Texas guy. To reference, it is from an old episode where a woman wrote a fantastic music video.
Was it a TikTok video? Yeah.
It was a TikTok music video. Sprightly, that's her name on TikTok.
About very moving to Texas with her boyfriend, and he breaks up with her. But she wrote it in a very fun.
It was great,
way.
And it ends with her and her mom in Florida, and the saddest ending that I've ever seen. I read this and it's like, why are you in New York? Is it for this job that you say you'll leave for a guy? Like,
maybe she feels like there's more men here.
Of course, yes, there are, but you know.
You don't like
quality versus quantity. Yeah. Like, you're probably on dates here being like, will they move to the mountains? It's like, that seems like a very tall mountain to climb.
Right.
You know, like, you're probably getting along with these people because it's already like, again, it's like, I get asked all the time, do you want to date someone Jewish? I'm like, with Jewish women, I just feel like there's a lot of things that we have in common that I won't have to like think about.
Mm-hmm.
It's more attractive to me to have someone who's like, and again, I think it's attractive to most people, someone who has direction and a goal. My direction is I moved here and self-determination.
Right.
You know, like, yeah, I moved home because I love the mountains and I love my family. And I got a place in town where I really love my new apartment. And I got this job that I can work from home, but I got to go to New York every now and again. Self-determination.
Mm-hmm.
And then that person who's in Colorado that you've met before that maybe starts as long distance, they're going to go, wow, I'm with this fucking hotshot chick.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe she feels like she could go either way. Like, you're someone who feels like when they're in terms of their living situation, they could go either way.
I think that makes me unattractive. I'm sitting here.
That you don't know where you want to be?
Yeah, I think that makes me a worse catch. Like, I think that, like, if I was at a New York City date with someone who was like, and, you know, maybe I'll move to the mountains. If the right thing happens, if the right person wants to do it, like, go.
You'd be like, you're more into, this is what I'm doing.
I'm doing this.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Because just the way her email was written, it was like, and if this guy wants me to move home, I'll do that. Like,
right.
I don't know. Doesn't seem.
No, I could agree with that. All right. So then our advice to you is if you want to move to the mountains, you go.
Get to the mountains. Pack those skis.
Yeah. I'm sure she's a great skier.
I'm sure she's awesome.
Put some tissues in your pocket because it gets cold out there.
Well, it's like the goal, 70% of your goal is achieved by moving to Colorado.
Right. And you'll find, again, maybe less men, but more men who are your
you connect with.
Type. Yeah.
So we solved dating again.
We did it. Proud of us. We'll be back.
It's a pleasure to be back here.
Always.
And if you're listening right now, that means you like the show, so thank you.
Subscribe if you want more bonus content.
And we have a subscription episode that's coming out next week.
Yes, and I will be giving an update on the dog situation.
We have a dog update.
Yes.
So sign up for Subscribe.betches.com to sign up for the bonus episodes. You Up With Benefits. You get an episode a day early. You also get no ads, and you get to hear Jordana and I get very personal on the You Up With Benefits podcast. And if you don't sign up, you don't like dogs, apparently. So, because you're going to hear a dog update from Jordana.
Yes.
And if you haven't signed up already, we have an episode up now where I'm getting a dating coaching session with Logan Ury. Did people like it?
People liked it. I liked it. I was there.
I have.
Did you like it?
I've done since then. I've done.
Did you like it? I felt bad at the end of that one. Like, no, I felt. I felt like you felt a little.
I felt tired. I would say I was exhausted. It felt like I went to a trainer. So sometimes, because I'm the representative, I become the punching bag of all the, and I'm happy to answer.
And that's why I'm saying I felt like bad. Like I felt like, you know.
No, I just get worn out. It's not that I'm never, when I leave here, I am never upset. I'm just more like tired of holding the mirror against my face and looking at my ugly fucking mug.
No.
So I listen, I bleed for you, the audience.
You do. No one gives more. You're like, it's like they're your children. You'll sacrifice anything.
I will do anything to make it so we can have an honest conversation about dating.
Yes.
So
besides go to therapy.
And relationships. Besides go to therapy. Goodbye.
You Up is produced by Candice Maniga and Shannon Sassone. Edited by Emily Freed. Social media by Candice Maniga. Booking by Adley Freelander. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe to our show. Send your emails to youup@betches.com. And check out you.up.podcast on Instagram.